When you think about music's biggest moments, you picture grand stages, golden lights, an artist stepping into the spotlight at the peak of their careers. But what happens when that peak comes impossibly early? What happens when a teenager rewrites the entire rulebook of what's possible in the music industry? That's exactly what Billie Eilish did when she made Grammy history in a way that left the entire music world stunned. This isn't just another success story. This is the story of how one artist became the youngest person ever to achieve something that seemed reserved for legends with decades of experience behind them. Her accomplishment didn't just break records, it fundamentally changed how we think about talent, age, and opportunity in music. Billie Eilish's rise wasn't traditional. She didn't come from a family of musicians performing in concert halls. She didn't attend prestigious music academies or perform on talent competitions as a child prodigy. Instead, she emerged from bedroom recordings and internet uploads, creating a sound that felt completely fresh and unlike anything dominating the charts. Her whispered vocals, the moody production, the introspective lyrics about mental health and growing up all struck a chord with millions of people, especially younger listeners who felt seen and understood by her music. Within a remarkably short time frame, she went from unknown artist to global phenomenon. The music industry began paying attention. Radio stations wanted her songs. Festival organizers wanted her on their stages. Record labels wanted to work with her. But more importantly, the biggest night in music, the Grammy Awards, was about to take notice too. As award season approached, insiders and fans speculated about who would win major categories. The Grammy Awards have always been considered the pinnacle of musical achievement. The night when the industry recognizes excellence across all genres. Billie Eilish's name started appearing in conversations about Best New Artist and other categories, which itself was remarkable for someone so young and new to the scene. Then came the night that changed everything. When the nominations were announced, Billie Eilish wasn't just nominated, she was nominated multiple times across major categories. But nobody expected what would actually happen when the awards were presented. Award after award came her way. She won Best New Artist, a recognition that's significant in itself because it validates an emerging talent. But then she kept winning Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year categories that typically go to established artists with extensive catalogs and years of industry experience. What made this historic wasn't just the quantity of wins. It was the specific categories she won in and the age at which she won them. She became the youngest person ever to win the Grammy for Album of the Year, one of the most prestigious awards in the entire industry. This award, traditionally given to artists who've spent years perfecting their craft, went to someone still in her late teens. The record-breaking didn't stop there. She also became the youngest person to achieve a specific combination of wins in the major categories. Music insiders and historians had to go back through decades of Grammy history to find a precedent, and they couldn't. This was genuinely unprecedented. The significance of this moment cannot be overstated. The Grammy Awards have been held annually since 1959, recognizing artists across every genre and style in all those years. No one her age had accomplished what she accomplished in that single night. Her achievement stood alone. What made it even more striking was her reaction. While some might have expected arrogance or entitlement, Billie showed genuine humility and gratitude. She acknowledged the other nominees, who were equally deserving, thanked the people who supported her, and seemed almost overwhelmed by what was happening. That authenticity made the moment even more powerful. The ripple effects of this achievement extended far beyond that one night. It sparked conversations about what her success meant for the music industry moving forward. Here was evidence that traditional timelines didn't apply anymore. You didn't have to wait decades to prove yourself. You didn't have to follow the established path that previous generations had followed. For young artists watching, the message was clear. If you make something authentic and compelling, if you connect with people emotionally, age doesn't have to be a barrier to the highest level of recognition. That's revolutionary in an industry that has historically favored experience and longevity. For the industry itself, it raised questions about how we evaluate talent and achievement. The Grammy Awards clearly saw something special in her work that transcended her age. They weren't giving her awards as a cute young talent or a promising newcomer. They were recognizing her as a legitimate force in music, someone whose creative work stood up against anyone else's, regardless of their experience level. Media outlets around the world covered the story extensively, Social media exploded with reactions. Industry professionals who had been skeptical about her longevity suddenly had to reconsider their assumptions, and millions of fans who already believed in her saw their faith validated at the highest possible level. The moment also raised her profile to a completely different tier. Before that night, she was famous and successful. After that night, she entered the conversation about the most important artists of her generation. The awards gave her official institutional validation of what her fans had already recognized. It's worth understanding what made this achievement even more remarkable when you look at the broader context. Music streaming had changed the industry's structure. Social media had democratized how artists could reach audiences. She hadn't had to sign with a major label first or prove herself through years of touring and releases. Her path was different, faster, and somehow even more impressive because it proved that the new way of breaking into music could lead to the absolute highest recognition. Her success also reflected changing tastes in music. The production style, the emotional honesty, the refusal to fit into traditional molds, these weren't compromises or artistic choices made out of necessity. These were intentional creative decisions that audiences responded to in overwhelming numbers that night at the Grammys. The music industry made a statement. Whether you came up through traditional channels or internet platforms, whether you had decades of experience or just a few years, if your work is genuinely great, we recognize it. Age doesn't determine talent. Experience doesn't guarantee success. Quality and connection do. Billie Eilish's Grammy history-making moment will be remembered as a turning point, not just in her career, but in how we understand achievement in music. She proved that the rules could be rewritten, that young artists could create work that ranked among the best in the world, and that innovation and authenticity could matter more than tradition and experience. As you think about her achievement, remember that it's not just about her. It's about what it means for everyone who comes after her. For the next generation of artists who will see her breakthrough as proof that anything is possible when talent meets the right moment, that's the story of how Billie Eilish made Grammy history.